Good evening, my name is Garrett, and welcome to The Last Call. Tonight's final drink is from Wheyward Spirit. This is their Wheyskey, coming in at a 40% ABV, no age statement. So for full disclosure, I reached out to Wheyward Spirit for a review sample. They were kind enough to send this over for us to take a look at, so just keeping that transparency open. So Wheyward Spirit is doing something completely different in the spirits industry. This isn't a whiskey or a rum or an aged vodka. This is using whey to make a distilled spirit. Now, I didn't realize how deep down whey was in the dairy industry until I started doing my research. Essentially, they tell us that for every 10 pounds of cheese making material, only 1 pound of that becomes cheese. And the byproduct whey is what Wheyward Spirit is using. So not only are they upcycling this by using that whey, but this is also grain, gluten, and lactose-free, farm to flask. On top of that being a woman-owned distillery. So many great points to talk about. On top of that, they end up putting this into a barrel and aging it for a little bit of time as well to just kind of add a different level of character and flavors and nuances to it. Now, I actually reviewed their non-aged version, and I thought it was just wonderful. The flavor profile it brought across could easily be sipped on or used in a mixed cocktail as well. I'm really pumped, though, to try the aged version of this one. So let's get into things. As always, we're going to be trying it 2 different ways. First way, neat, no ice, no water. Second way, we'll add just a drop of water, see if anything changes up. And as always, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hang around for a bit. If you're interested in some of the other reviews I've done over Wheyward Spirit, they'll be linked up above and down below, along with a link to their website, so you can go check them out for yourself. They do shipping of spirits, and just overall, you can get a little bit more information about their process and the team that does everything. Excited. Now, I will also be doing an A/B comparison video as well to kind of do how the aged versus the unaged version becomes, just for funsies. So look out for that as well. Honestly, the color, it's very light. So it actually kind of reminds me of like a Reposado tequila. Very light, just a light golden color in there, a little straw. All right, let's go for notes. Ooh, sweet. This is sweeter. Wow. So it does kind of give me Reposado tequila vibes off of it. And I have been getting into tequila quite a bit. And the reason I say that is because the oak layers in this are subtle and sweet. So meaning it's probably only been in a cask for maybe a couple months, if that. But oak, sweet oak. And the creaminess, the vanilla factor going on this one, beautiful. I get a little bit of almost apple skins as well, from a little bit of fruit. There's no ABV, nothing harsh, no off notes. Everything is beautiful on that. But it does give me vibes of the unaged version, just a little sweeter oak going on in here. Very similar though. But it's almost going maple sweetness. My brain is wanting to say like maple casked. I've been more recently reviewed a few things maple casked, and it's giving me that kind of vibe of just a subtle sweetness in there. Yeah. All right, let's go for a taste. There's a smoky chariness on that. That I was not expecting. So, right up front, vanilla caramel sweetness on there. Deep, heavy oak. But then it shifts about midway, bringing in almost an earthy smokiness to it. It gives me vibes of like an American smoked barrel. Like, I've had a few smoked barrels as well, but it's got this underlying charry, smoky layer. That is uniquely good. The mouthfeel on it beautifully coats, but the earthy, charry, and it gives me a smoky element mixed in there with that vanilla sweetness that the unaged version had. Beautifully done. That is unique and tasty and sippable like crazy. And I'll be honest, that earthy cherry layer took me by surprise and in such a great way. Beautiful. I think I might like that more than the unaged version. I was a big fan of that one. But I also like smoky cherry things, as you could tell. That note in there, I'm trying to think of what it reminds me of other than earthy cherry, because it's almost a little oily as well. It's almost like if you had a piece of wood like in the fire and you pulled it out and it like, you know, it's not on fire, but nice chars going on in there. And there's a little bit like you just set it next to you, and the next day you kind of walked by and you can kind of still smell the charred smoke on there. The reminiscence of that, beautiful. Still nothing harsh, no ABV bite, no off notes on the taste. That is unique. I love that. Oh man. Even here in the finish, it almost goes, my brain's now going almost savory. Wow. All right. Let's add a little drop of water, see what changes up here. I want to try to leave enough in the bottle so I can do our A-B comparison, so I'm not going to do a lot. Because definitely, I want to do an A-B on this one now, because that's so unique. All right. See what water does. Let's go for notes. Simple sweets. Still get a bit of oakiness in there, but I would say at least 30 to 40% lighter than the neat version. The funny thing is, I'm getting the smoke on the nose now. And it's actually now kind of reminding me of burning leaves. Like burning leaves and little twigs kind of nose on there. Oh, that is evolving, and I love that. But yeah, I'd say very similar, but about 30 to 40% dialed back. So you still get all the sweet characteristics, the oak layers, even a little bit of that charriness is still showing up on the nose, just very, very light comparatively. Let's go for a taste. Loses out on that charry, smoky layer a little bit, which is kind of expected. It's no argument against the spirit. Usually smoky things do lose out on that. But you still get a little bit of sweetness. It's a little more earthy. Charry is still there. The caramel layer is still kind of peeking through. Almost got a little barrel spice in there now. Go back to the neat version, see if I can find that barrel. A little bit. That's still really good though. Wow. Yeah. Meaning, with that little drop of water in there, means it should hold up fairly well in a cocktail. This could easily replace an average, like maybe an old fashioned. Could you do an old fashioned with this? Maybe. I would say if you're using a whiskey or a lighter, maybe a lightly aged rum or a tequila. I'm trying to think if it would do good replacing a deeper whiskey. It's got the charry, the vanilla, and the caramel layers you want in a good whiskey. I'm interested on that. We might have to try to do that. But what it's bringing across is subtle, sweet, and I love those oak layers. As always, it doesn't matter what you drink or how you drink it, as long as you enjoy it. Both really darn good, but I gotta say that neat version took me by surprise. I like that. All right, let's talk about market price, because we all know market price is market price, and it's always going to vary. So looking on their website where you can actually order this, I think they say they ship to like 30 some states, 34 states. It's about $70. Now, I don't think that's too far from its asking price. This is a unique process using upcycling, being more inclusive for people that are lactose, gluten, and grain intolerances. That is awesome. Doing the farm to flask, all that is a cost, and I respect that in today's industry more than ever. So I don't think it's a bad asking price. $70 seems fine enough to me. It's beautiful to sip on. This can really do some unique things, not only in a cocktail, but to open a world to other spirits, because it kind of gives you vibes of a rum, of a well-aged reposado tequila. Though it's none of those. So to be able to give you those vibes, it might help you experience other spirits. They're keeping it 80 proof. I'm curious on what a higher proof version of this would be aged. I don't even know, but I gotta say, that's worth its asking price any day of the week. So big props to that. I love this one. This one's been great to experience. And again, if you're interested in learning a little bit more about Wheyward Spirit and their offerings, a link to their website will be down in the description area below. Go show them some love. So yeah, there you have it, folks. Wheyward Spirit, Wheyskey. If you have any questions about the spirit itself, let me know down in the comment section below. I would do my best to answer it. And if you have any specific spirit I should go looking for, also let me know down below. Love doing these reviews and sharing with you the experience at home. And as always, may your last drink of the night be the best one.
You know, and I even like it might not.